Imagine that you're stuck in an island. Okay, you've been stranded in this island for years by yourself. There's nobody in this island other than you, right? So you're in this island and you haven't seen what you look like the entire time. You've never seen your reflection. You don't know what you look like. As far as your self-image is concerned, it's not there, right? And then one day you see a mirror wash ashore, right? You're in this island by yourself. You don't know what you look like, and all of a sudden you have a mirror available, right? You don't know what your teeth look like. You don't know if you have new wrinkles. You don't know if you have gray hair. You don't know what you look like. Now you have a mirror, right? My question is this: would you look in the mirror? Would you look in the mirror to see what you look like, right? Most people, including me, would look in the mirror, right? It's curiosity. We all have this urge to know what we look like, our self image or our self concept, right? Of course, you would look in the mirror. People who wouldn't look in the mirror would fight the urge to look in the mirror. But there's an internal need to see what we look like, right? We want to be connected to our existence. We, at the very least, want to know what we look like, right? Now, let me ask you this. If you had to choose between having a mirror in the island where you can see yourself or a pet, right? A dog, a cat, or a hamster, whatever pet you prefer, right? You get to have a pet, right? What would you choose? Would you choose the mirror or would you choose the pet, a companion, right? Which one would you pick? Right? Your guess is as good as mine. I know people are gonna differ, right? But where am I going with this, and what does this have to do with companionship and why people seek companionship? We all have a need to have a connection with our own existence. Okay, it's like this fundamental need of having the deepest view of who we are, and part of it is on a superficial level where you need to see what you look like on a mirror, and we have mirrors, right? You look at the mirror and you can see what you look like. However, there's also another more raw, more intense need to see what our psychology looks like, the inside, right? We know what we look like on the outside when we look in the mirror, but we don't really know what we look like on the inside. There's no inside mirror, right? We want to know what's in your psychology. You can say your spirit or your soul. We want to know what that looks like. It's just inherent in nature. It's the same urge we have when we look in the mirror, right? You just have to look. There's no way around it. So, is there a way to look on the mirror on the inside? And the answer is yes. Okay? This is what Nathaniel Brandon refers to as your psychological mirror, right? So you want to see what you look like internally, what your psychology looks like. Okay? We all have this need. It's no one's exempt from this. Whether you're aware of it or not, we all have this, right? On a mirror where you look at yourself on the outside, you want to see yourself conceptually. The concept of you, this is what I look like. That's me, right? When you look at your psychological mirror, which is the inside, you're looking at yourself perceptionally, your perception, right? So where is the psychological mirror that Nathaniel Brandon talks about in all his books? Your psychological mirror can only be seen with another form of consciousness, another companion, right? So your consciousness, your psychology, your awareness needs to be reflected to you by another consciousness, by another awareness, right? It'd be nice if we had a mirror that we can look at, just like, a physical, tangible mirror that lets us see the outside. But when it comes to the inside, we need another consciousness, another living organism that can reflect our awareness. That's the only way you're going to see your own psychological mirror. It's the only way. This is an inherent need that everybody has, and it's the reason why we seek companionship. We want to look at that mirror. That's basically what it comes down to, right? So you need someone to share your values, someone to share your experiences, someone that you can share your intellect with, right? This can only be done with a companion. And when it comes down to it, it's a need to be seen, to see yourself, to be heard, to be acknowledged, okay? This should, like, you can't confuse this with um having a unhealthy need for approval, right? Like looking for other people's opinions and stuff like that, or looking for other people's opinions of you for your own self-worth. That's not what this is about. This is a fundamental need for a human being to be seen, to be visible, right? Visible means you know I'm here and you can see it. Your consciousness is reflected back at you. Your visibility has different ranges, right? Your need to be seen has different ranges. When somebody reflects back at you what um your consciousness looks like, it makes you happy. Even with a pet, right? If you're happy and let's say you're playing with your dog and the dog's, happy as well and it starts wagging his tail, that's your consciousness, right? Your awareness, the feeling of feeling joy being reflected back at you, right? A dog is a companion. The companion varies in degree, obviously, right? Having a pet is not the same as having an acquaintance. And having an acquaintance is not the same as having like a best friend, right? And of course, having a best friend, even though it could overlap, is not the same as having a lover, right? A lover is the deepest view of your own consciousness, right? They're reflecting back that psychological mirror. And it doesn't always mean that you have a functional relationship. Sometimes it's very dysfunctional, right? You see people that have toxic relationships and they're very dysfunctional and they always gravitate towards those people for more reasons than one. But one of those reasons is the fact that that person is reflecting their psychological mirror, what they look like on the inside back to them, right? Like some people bring out the worst in you. Some people bring out the worst in you and some people bring out the best in you. But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with them and everything to do with you. They're bringing this out of you. They bring out the best from you. They bring out the best from you on the inside, right? Or they bring out the worst from you on the inside. But at the end of the day, it's all coming out of your own system, the internal realm. That's what's reflected. That's what's reflected on you. So people have, like I said, that feeling that you would have if you hadn't seen yourself in years of having a mirror. Of course you would look, and we all have that on the inside. You want to look and see what you look like internally, and the only way to do that is through consciousness, through another person showing you who you are, right? You might not always like who you are or what you're being shown, but you still gotta look, right? You still have an urge to look in the mirror, the psychological mirror, and that's never gonna go away. That's just the need to have a connection with your existence. We all have that. We all want to look at both mirrors, the tangible one that shows you the outside and the psychological mirror. That's just the way it is. It's not so much that humans look for love per se. It's looking for your sense of identity, right? People seek a companion not so much because you want to feel loved. That's always a plus, of course. But it comes down to having to bridge the gap between who you are and your identity and who you identify yourself as, right? And you need consciousness to value another consciousness to reflect that back at you. Okay? At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and that's life.